कुंज विहारे। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यमुनतीरावनचारे। यमुनतीरावनचारे। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे हरे। जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा, कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा। जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग, निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। Jamishpad Param Saparurali Kashtottara Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya BBT founder Acharya Sevala, the whole world, Jadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki, Shri Shri Krishna Rukmani Satyabhama ki, Shri Shri Nitya Gauranga ki, Jadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitya Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayed Nashtaprayesha Bhadresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, entitled Conversation between Narada and Vasudeva, text number 24. Matir Mayi Nibadhyayam Matir Mayi Nibadhyayam Matir Mayi Nibadhyayam Na Vipadyeta Karhiche Na Vipadyeta Karhiche Na Vipadyeta Karhiche Praja Sarga Nirodhe Api Praja Sarga Nirodhe Pi Praja Sarga Nirodhe Pi Smritis Cha Madanugrahad Smritischa Madanugrahad Smritischa Madanugrahad Matirmayi Nibadhyayam Na Vipadhyeta Karhiche Praja Sarga Nirodhepi Smritischa Madanugraha Matirmayi Nibadhyayam Na Vipadhyeta Karhiche Praja Sarga Nirodhepi Smritischa Madanugraha Matirmayi Nibadhyayam Na Vipadhyeta Karhiche Praja Sarga Nirodhepi. Word to word meaning. Matihi, intelligence. Mai, devoted to me. Nibadha, engaged. Iyam, this. Na, never. Vipadhyeta, separate. Karhichit, at any time. Praja, living beings. Sarga, at the time of creation. Nirodhe, also at the time of annihilation. Api, even. Smritihi, remembrance. Cha, and. Mad, mine. Anugrahad, by the mercy of. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time. even at the time of creation as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Translation with repetition. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Purport. Devotional service rendered to the personality of Godhead never goes in vain. Since the personality of Godhead is eternal, intelligence applied in his service or anything done in his relation is also permanent. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that such transcendental service rendered unto the personality of Godhead accumulates birth after birth, and when the devotee is fully matured, the total service counted together makes him eligible to enter into the association of the personality of Godhead. Such accumulation of God's service is never vanquished, but increases till fully matured. Thus ends the purport for this verse. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadvi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are discussing from the chapter 6, wherein the conversation between Narada and Vasudeva is happening here. So in this context, we have seen from the previous verses that when in the Narada in the previous life, when he went towards traveling towards north and sat on a bank of a tree, a bank of river underneath a tree, he started meditation on the Paramatma as it was instructed by the Bhakti Vedantas. So after in a short while only, Narada could get the glimpse of the Lord in his heart, and he was wonderstruck by having darshan of the Supreme Lord. So after that, he again wanted to have darshan of the Lord, and again he started meditating and following the same process which was instructed by the pure devotees. Then the Narada could not get his darshan again, so he was a little bit saddened and frustrated in his attempts. So by seeing his attempts, Lord, instead of giving darshan, he spoke. So he spoke. In the previous verse it is said, O Narada, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints hardly see me. Oh, virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me, because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires. By service of the absolute truth, even for a few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material words. So these are all the words spoken by the Supreme Lord, and today's words also spoken by the Supreme Lord. Matirmayi nipadhyayam na vipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodhepi smritischa mad anugraha. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by mercy. So here Narada was instructed by the Supreme Lord that you will not get my darshan in this lifetime again, but Lord is giving assurances, the future life, how it will be. So that's so Lord is giving a lot to inspire Narada. He is giving positive words that don't get disappointed. You continue your devotion service, And by mercy, you remember or you will get my audience again. And you will not get separated from me. And Lord is assuring that you will become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. So this is how Narada, in the previous life, he has been taught by Lord, Supreme Lord, to and Lord gave the assurance that follow the process given by the Bhakti Vedantas and you will attain perfection in life. So because Narada in his previously he was not attached to material desires, and he immediately took the instructions of Bhakti Vedantas and started following. And very soon in his very childhood itself he got audience of the Supreme Lord. So that is the potency of following the instructions of Bhakti Vedantas. So this is how we can get the mercy from the Bhakti Vedantas or pure devotees, how our life can progress towards spiritual realizations. Otherwise, we will be only attached to material desires. So there is a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, will not become happy or will not become perfect by taking up material desires or in living our life in the bodily concept of life. So there is a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kamadinam Katina Katida Palita Durdineshas Tesham Jatamayi na Karuna na Trupa Nopashantihi Ustrijada Atha Yadupate Sama Praptam Labdas Buddhis Tvam Ayatam Sharanam Abhayam Mam Nirukshvayatma Dasa. Translation of this verse is, O my Lord, there is no limit to the unwanted orders of my lusty desires. Although I have rendered these Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki Prabhupada ki. The translation of this verse is, O my Lord, there is no limit to the unwanted orders of lusty desires. Although I have rendered these desires so much, also I have rendered these desires so much service, they have not shown any mercy to me. I have not been ashamed to serve them, nor have I been desired to give them up. O my Lord, O head of the Edu dynasty, recently, however, my intelligence has been awakened, and now I am giving them up. Due to transcendental intelligence, I now refuse to obey the unwanted orders of these desires, and I now come to you to surrender myself at your lotus feet, fearless lotus feet. Kindly engage me in your personal service and save me. So people are mad after satisfying the material desires, but here the devotee is saying that I have rendered so much service, but still they have not satisfied me, neither I am able to give up. But as I came in touch with the pure devotees, my intelligence has been awakened. So that's the benefit of coming in touch with the pure devotees and following their instruction. Then we can actually easily give up the unwanted anarthas from our life and progress towards spiritual life. And in this intelligence where Lord is saying Mad Anugrahat, one can remember by Lord's mercy the instructions of spiritual knowledge or the remembrance of the Supreme Lord by Lord's mercy alone. We cannot get by our own efforts. So here Lord is telling, Smritishta Mad Anugrahat, remembrance will continue by my mercy. So, and Lord is assuring that even at the time of creation or at the time of annihilation, one can remember Lord's form, Lord's characteristics, Lord's pastimes, and live in associating with these Lord's paraphernalia. So in this line, there is a pastime in Bhagavatam where Vritrasura, a great demon, so he was actually Indra's enemy. He was born Indra's enemy, and so his destiny is to fight against Indra. So that's how. So Vritrasura became Indra's enemy because the Vishwarupa's father performed sacrifice, because Vishwarupa was killed by Indra, because Vishwarupa was unknowingly or knowingly is offering oblations for the benefit of the demigods, for the demons. So Indra got to know this news and he killed the Vishwarupa. Then Vishwarupa's father became angry and he performed a sacrifice, and by which uh, Vritrasura was born. So in that fight where the fierce battle was going on between demigods and demons, and in that conversation or in that fight, Vritrasura spoke. Uh, Vritrasura fought vigorously, and also he spoke something very interesting, spiritual knowledge, and that awestruck Indra itself. How could a demon spoke this spiritual knowledge? So it is described in the sixth chapter, sixth canto, 11th chapter. There is a description of transcendental qualities of Vritrasura, even though he was born in demonic families. So he spoke few instructions. So by the force of your thunderbolt, I shall be freed from material bondage and shall give up this body and this world of material desires. Fixing my mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Shankarshana, I shall attain the destination of such great sages as Narada Muni, just as Shankarshana has said. So Vritrasura is, even though he is born in the form of a demonic form, but still his mind and his intelligence is not threatened. He is remembering spiritual knowledge, and that's how he is telling he is not attached to his body and his material desires are born out of the material body, conditioned life. He is telling, even though I know that the thunderbolt was empowered by Lord Vishnu and it has the potential to kill me, but I am not afraid. And he is seeking the other side benefit, where he is telling, by the force of your thunderbolt, I shall be freed from material bondage and shall give up this body and this world of material desires. So same thing in the previous verse also Krishna is telling, the devotee who will associate with me after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Same thing Vritrasura also telling here, giving up these material worlds, material desires and material worlds. Fixing my mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, I will attain the status of Narada and great rishis. Persons who fully surrendered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personal Godhead and always think of his lotus feet are accepted and recognized by the Lord as his own personal assistants or servants. The Lord never bestows upon such servants the brilliant opulence of upper, lower, and middle planetary systems of this material world. When one possesses material opulence in any of these three divisions of the universe, his possessions naturally increase his enmity, anxiety, mental agitation, pride, and belligerence. Thus, one goes through much endeavor to increase and maintain his possessions, and thus he suffers great unhappiness when he loses them. O Lord, the Supreme Personal Godhead forbids his devotees to endeavor uselessly for religion, economic development, and sense gratification. O Indra, one can thus infer how kind the Lord is. Such mercy is obtainable only by unalloyed devotees, not by persons who aspire for material gains. O my Lord, Supreme Personal Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, I may again become their servant so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes, my words always glorify these attributes, and my body always engage in the service of your Lordship. So like this, Vritrasura spoke so much pure devotional service about surrendering to the Supreme Lord and associating with the devotees. So when Shukadeva Goswami described this pastime, Parikshit was wonderstruck. Then he asked this question, how could a demon speak about this knowledge and immerse in thinking of the Lord's lotus feet even at the time of his destruction? So how could it be possible? Normal demons are attached to material desires and against the mode of goodness or spiritual inclination. So how could this be possible? Then Shukadeva Goswami narrates his past history, who was Vritrasura in a past life. So then Shukadeva Goswami narrates the history of Chitraketu. So where Chitraketu was the emperor of this world and he was ruling the kingdom very nicely, and everything was perfectly going on, all the necessities of the life are supplied by the Mother Nature, and everything was fine. So, but when Angira Rishi came to his kingdom, and when he saw everything was going on fine, but all the ministers and your wives are all very obedient to you, and everything is going on fine. But I see you are not happy. Even though he had millions of wives, he was not happy, in the sense Angira Muni saw something sadness in his face. Then Angira Muni asked him. Then Chitraketu says, even though I have everything in my life, everything is abundance, but I do not have son. So, and by which my forefathers I will not be delivered, because I don't have son. So like that, Chitraketu explains his sourness to Angira Rishi. So Angira Rishi did not instruct immediately in spiritual knowledge, but he blessed him. He performed a vrata for offer oblations to Twasta, a demigod, and he produced a sweet rice, and he gave it to Chitraketu and offered to one of your wife, and soon he will get a child. And he said, he will be the cause of Harsha and Soka. He will be cause of lamentation and happiness. So like that, he went immediately out of the campus, out of the kingdom, and he gave the sweet rice to Chitraketu. And Chitraketu gave the sweet rice to his first wife, and soon after, he begot a child. And so everybody was very happy, and the kingdom, in the kingdom, Chitraketu began to distribute abundantly all the charity to all the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and all other the poor people. So it was the festive mood, and he became very attached to his first wife and his son, because all his happiness was dissipated because of he got son from the first wife. Then soon he became only spending time with the first wife and spending time with the child. So all other millions of other wives became envious by seeing this incident. So they all came together and poisoned the child, that he is not giving attention to us, and this child is cause of our problems. So let us eliminate child from this kingdom, so that we'll become happy. So like that, they plot and feed the poison to the child. And the night, then when the first wife of Chitraketu woke up and asked his nurse to bring my child, then he was not responding, he's maybe deeply sleeping. So bring my child. So nurse went and saw and observed his eyes were open, it's not closed, and he's not responding anything. Then she understood that child is passed away, child is dead. Then everybody cried loudly, and news passed to Chitraketu also, and Chitraketu also became awestruck and fell unconscious. So like this, the whole atmosphere is spoiled. So then he was almost about to faint. Chitraketu is almost fell flat at the feet of the child and crying loudly. Then Angira Rishi came and instructed about spiritual knowledge, that everything is temporary here. I said already, this happiness will not come. He will be the cause of your happiness and distress also. So like that, Krishna or Angira Rishi and Narada also came and instructed Chitraketu in his spiritual knowledge, and explained the importance of the soul and soul's destination, goal of life, and importance of devotion service. And they gave a mantra also to chant, and you will see the Lord personally in that same life. So like that, Chitraketu was benefited from association of the devotees and their instructions. And by some mistake, he got the body of Vitrasura, but Lord gave the remembrance, even in the form of, even in the body of a demon, where Chitraketu got in the next life, that he left his body, and while remembering the Lord's instructions, Lord's surrendering to the Lord's lotus feet, and remembering and that I will be joining his company in his association, like the status of Narada Muni and other great sages. So like that is the greatness of Lord's mercy. So Lord is giving by mercy, I will give the intelligence to remember the devotion which you have performed in the past lives. So there is no loss for our devotional practices. Whatever we have done in the past life, that will continue to the next life also. The same, like this, we have got so many incidents in the history of devotees where Gajendra also got remembrance of his past practice. Even though he is fighting in the river or pond where crocodile was catching hold of his feet, and for 1,000 years they are fighting, and so he could not do anything. Even at the end of his life, he was when it is said that to give remembrance, Mother Lakshmi she sent a lotus flower to the river, and when the Gajendra, he took that lotus flower and started offering prayers. So that remembrance is given by the Lord personally, and by offering the prayers which he had learnt in the past life, and Lord himself came and rescued the Gajendra. Like this, we can see in the case of Bharat Maharaj. So he actually had 3 lives. In the first life, he was started spiritual progress. He practiced for some time. Then in the next life, he became aware that I should not get distracted, and Lord gave the memory of his past life. And in the third life also, he became a Jada Bharat, and he continued his devotional practices by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Neha Abhikramanashasya pratyavayu vidyate salpamapi dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. So by practicing devotional practices, there is no destruction for whatever amount we have progressed in current life. So that will accrue and accumulates, and life after life we can get the benefit by practicing devotional services. This in contrary to this, whatever material endeavors, material desires we may pursue, but that will end with the destruction of the body. That is temporary. But whatever endeavor we put, whatever intelligence we used in the service of the Lord, that will remain forever. So that is how Krishna is inspiring Narada, that intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. So same thing Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanamcha. So Krishna is the one who is giving the remembrance. He is seated in our heart as Paramatma. He is accompanying life after life. So Krishna is noting down our service attitude and our endeavor in serving the mission of the Lord or mission of the spirit devotees. So Lord becomes happy, and life after life He gives the remembrance and makes us progress towards the ultimate destination of going back to Godhead. So that's how Lord gives the intelligence in our life. So in Bhagavad Gita also, in various places, Lord explains about the intelligence, which is in the 10th chapter. Krishna says, Buddhir Jnanam Asamoha, intelligent knowledge, freedom from doubt. Like this, Krishna gives 19 or 20 items which are created by Krishna himself. And further, Krishna says, Tesham satada yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dhadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. Those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So Krishna gives the intelligence by which we can reach his abode, his destination. And also Krishna says how we can use our intelligence in understanding or rendering devotion service. So in Krishna, after speaking Bhagavad Gita, at the end Krishna is speaking, Adhyaste Adhyeshate cha imam dharmam samvadam avayoho jnana yajnena teneham ishtasyam iti me natihi. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation, that is conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, that is Bhagavad Gita, worship me by his intelligence. So we have got intelligence, we have got human form of body, so we have got prerogative to understand the spiritual knowledge. So we have to use our intelligence and understand the scriptures. And that is Krishna is telling, by studying this Bhagavad Gita, actually we are worshipping the Lord with intelligence. So when intelligence is engaged in this way, by following By understanding the importance of spiritual instructions from spiritual master and following them adherently and sticking to the practices given by the Supreme Lord and spiritual master, by using our intelligence and determiningly following this, we can attain our ultimate success of uh, reaching the spiritual planets in this very life. Even if not, if it is failed, even it's not failed, we can accrue the same benefit by life after life and attain the ultimate goal of life. So we'll end with this. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki, Jagad Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.